Many of you saw on my vids that how heavy the traffic is in London. Well, basically it's grinding to a halt. I mean, it's the latest figures say the average speed is 7.9 miles per hour. Well, these are polished figures by the politicians and the bureaucrats. In morning or evening rush hours, I bet you it can't be more than 3 miles an hour. And then Transport for London have absolutely, I mean, they have plans for cars and for bicycles. By the way, they spent £1 billion on cycle routes and initiative for cyclists, which I'm all for, don't get me wrong. But what's happening for motorcycles? There's 50,000 motorcycle journeys a day in London. Now that's very little. It should be double, it should be triple that. But there is absolutely nothing being done. £0 spent to encourage the use of motorbikes. You know, such as secure parking with the anchors, such as, you know, have it monitored by CCTV, and, you know, encourage them to use motorbikes. Because let's wait until this truck moves. All of a sudden there's a traffic jam here. We contribute, by the way, 1% to the pollution that is happening in London. Yesterday they just issued a pollution warning because pollution levels were so high. Why? Because the cars are just sitting there idling and polluting. Now, I have a lot of friends who would say, I would ride a bike if I knew that I can park it at work securely, or it's not going to be stolen, or there's some kind of help with insurance. Well, insurance is not going to be helped, but it will be helped if theft is lower. But the likelihood of your motorbike being stolen in London now is so high that it actually figures on a probability scale. I mean, when I commute down to London, I can tell you, I see 3-4 motorbikes. Ignore the delivery guys, ignore the Deliveroo and all these people, but true bikers who commute to work, I see maybe 3 or 4. How many bicycles do I see in their cycle lanes? Again, very few. Getting people out of their cars is not working, Transport for London, and it will never work. You tried congestion charging. You increased it by so much, I don't know, is it something like £11.50 a day now? And you're not getting them out of their cars. Encourage them to use motorbikes. And it will be much better for the mental health of the nation. Believe me, I can tell you that for sure. So what I'm going to do today, I chose the KTM for that, because I can easily show, if I switch it to trip 1, I can show the average speed, I can show the consumption, I can show the trip time, and the miles covered. I want to go from West London to the centre and then head northwest. I want to see in 7.9 miles how quick I would cover that. I'm not going to be racing, I'm going to do my normal riding, I never do anyway, and maybe somebody somewhere will see it and get convinced. I'll just head there and then I will reset it as we start the route. No, there's one thing I forgot to say as well. What they intend to do is any bike, they have this low emission zone which is going to come into effect very soon. Any bike which is not registered before, which is registered before July 2007 is going to be subject to a daily charge of £12.50. Now, bikers should be exempt from that. As I said, we only contribute 1% to the pollution. So why all these guys who use their bikes for work, why you want to treat them just like a car, which pumps out 99% more pollution? Exempt those guys from that low emissions zone charge, which is basically any bike which is not Euro 3 compliant. I think this is completely wrong and completely unfair. Already you do nothing for us, and then you want to charge us and treat us like all the other people. I think this is grossly unfair. Enough preaching. Hello, helicopter. I'm here. They're checking on me. So let's start it from here. I'll reset. So far we have covered 5.3 miles, average speed of 24 miles an hour, and trip time is 13 minutes.
So that's 8 miles at 24 miles per hour. Consumption is 9.6 liters, 9.6 per liter, whatever. And trip time is 19 minutes. Now, is there any better choice than actually commuting in London on a bike? Well, obviously I'm stating the obvious, but for those people who don't understand any of that stuff, the only thing that stops you really is very narrow roads and traffic lights.